Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Nathan from the ebookreader.com. For this video, I'm going to put together a comparison review between the Kobo Clara HD, which is going to be on the left throughout the whole video, and the new Kobo Clara 2E, which is on the right. So, from the front, they look virtually identical. Kobo didn't change a whole lot with the design, but on the back, you can definitely tell which one's the Clara 2E. It has a blue back instead of the black, and they added the power button. They moved it up here to the top corner instead of the lower bottom edge. It's got a different kind of texture to it too. It's more grippy now. The Clara HD is a little bit slicker with the finer sort of pattern it has on it, where the Clara HD or Clara 2E is a little bit easier to hold. So they added USB-C port, as you can see here on the lower edge. The Clara HD has the micro USB port, and then they had the power button down there on the lower edge as well. So I like that they moved it up there. Helps avoid accidental presses. For the most part, like, the software is exactly the same on these two devices. I have the same software installed on these, the same font we're comparing right here. Now, first thing I want to mention, the camera. It picks up the screen on the right side better, so it looks darker, but in person, the difference is very subtle. So they have a Carta 1200 screen, it's one of the upgrades with the Clara 2E, so it does have slightly darker text, but it's not as noticeable as it is on this video right here. The camera kind of favors the right side. I'll show it a little bit closer up later. But right now I kind of wanted to do a quick comparison of the speed difference between the two. As you can see here, jumping between chapters, turning pages, there is no speed difference. They have the same 1 gigahertz processor, so performance is virtually identical on these two devices. The front lights are pretty much the same as well. Nothing has really changed here. You still got the Kobo, whatever they call it, the Comfort Light Pro, where you have the adjustable color temperature with the light color or the cool color and the orange color. The tones are just slightly different on these two units, but you're going to get that when you're comparing the same exact model. Front lights are never exactly the same, or rarely exactly the same, from one model to the next or from one device to the next. So overall, the front lights pretty much exactly the same brightness, same adjustable as far as the orange and the cool colors go. Not much difference there. Most of the changes with the Clara 2E are like stuff that's under the hood. So it has 16 gigabytes of storage space now, whereas the Clara HD had 8 gigabytes. The Clara 2E is also waterproof. They added support for dual band Wi-Fi in the Clara 2E, whereas the Clara HD single band only. So, a lot of the differences are just subtle changes under the hood. For the most part, performance is identical. Front lights are identical. One thing I noticed here in the beta features, which is kind of weird with Kobo devices, that they have different beta features from different models. So the Clara HD had a bunch of other games. You had Solitaire and, these other games added in here, Word Scramble and stuff. For some reason, those aren't on the Clara 2E. I don't know why they do it that way. But for the most part, software is virtually identical on these devices, just a couple subtle differences. Dark mode's also supported on the Clara 2E, which I will show here shortly. But let's just take a look at the front light, or the screen without the front lights on, in a little bit lower lighting conditions. Like I said, the camera favors the screen on the right. There is a difference with the Carta 1200 screen. It has slightly darker text. That blacks are just a little bit darker than the older Clara, the Clara HD screen, the regular Carta screen. But it's not a huge difference. As you can see here, you can get a little bit closer look at the screens. Really, so the text does stand out a little bit more with the Carta 1200 screen on the Clara 2E. Not a huge difference, but you do have the dark mode support officially supported now, so you can get the white text on a black background. There is a hack that you can get that on the Clara HD, but it doesn't work nearly as well, and it inverts everything, where with the officially supported mode, it only inverts the text and not like images or the interface or anything. Another difference with the Clara 2E is they added audiobook support, so it has a 16 gigabytes of storage, so you have some extra space for audiobooks. Of course, that's only going to work with Kobo's audiobooks. You can sideload audio files. There is a sideload player, but it does not work very well, and it separates everything by individual files. I don't know. I haven't tried it for a long time. It might be better now, but for the most part, you're really only going to be able to use audiobooks from Kobo. Quick look at a comic. So like I said, or actually it's a manga, but as I said, the performance is the same. It doesn't really matter. Ebooks, whatever, like page turn speeds virtually identical, performance identical with these two. They have the same 1 gigahertz processor. So really the difference just comes down to, a slightly better screen. You got the waterproofing on the Clara 2E, and it has more storage space, and then the Bluetooth, so you can stream audiobooks with the audio support there, and then the dual band Wi-Fi, USB-C port, dark mode. So they look exactly the same, but they made the Clara 2E like 2 millimeters wider, so you can't fit it in a Kobo Clara HD case. I don't know if they did that intentionally or not, but it's kind of annoying because you got to buy a new case. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. So some subtle differences with the Clara 2E. Not a whole lot has changed in the past 4.5 years, but just enough to, make some noticeable improvements. The screen definitely is a little bit better. I'm going to wrap up this review. Check out the ebookreader.com for the full review. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.